Hi everyone, I'm Steve. As you probably know, I'm here with Rob Nichols. Now, Rob happens to be a member in one of my health clubs, and that's kind of irrelevant because we want to talk about diet and exercise and how it can impact your life. I was talking before, Rob, we were talking before we turned this on, and I would say that diet and exercise has significantly impacted your life. So, thanks for being here, Rob. Thanks for jumping on this um podcast or video or whatever you want to call it to tell us your story. Thanks for being with us.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, so let's go back to at the beginning of the story that you started telling me first. It was you were overweight, and your doctor said you're pre-diabetic. You need to do something now. And I don't know if you knew what to do, but you did some things. And again, I always emphasize, we're not doctors, but everyone's different. You made some choices. So pick up your story right there um, about did that scare you when you said you're pre-diabetic and you're in your 40s? And pick it up from there.
That really scared me. I had never had an experience like that before. Always very healthy. The thought you know, of having to take pills and being diabetic and all of that really scared me. And I wanted to do everything that I could to prevent that from happening. And they kind of gave me an opportunity. Said, "Hey, you've got to do something now." So the only thing I could think of without any professional advice was, "Hey, all right, let me cut out the sugar. Let me stop drinking soda. It's not good for you. Um, stop putting sugar in my coffee." Those were a couple of things I changed in my diet. I started eating a lot more fruit and vegetables, a lot more chicken. And then more importantly, or kind of coupled with that, is I started exercising 5 days a week. And it wasn't like intense exercise. I would go running, I would go to the gym, I'd run on the treadmill. But those few things in a few months worked. It turned everything around. I went for my follow-up visit and I was in the clear.
So did your doctor, did he say stop eating sugar, or he just said go, or did he just say go do something?
He said, if you do not change your lifestyle, your eating habits, and all of these things now, and they give you basic things, and here's some
So
things that you can
so
do.
you just kind of used common sense on
Hmm.
how to change your lifestyle with diet and exercise. Probably it sounds like you switched over to whole foods, you cut sugar out,
Yeah,
some
yeah.
simple things.
Mhm.
Okay, and that was back in uh,
2017.
2017,
Yeah,
and that changed it, right?
it
You
did.
went back, and what did the doctor say?
Doctor said, I don't know what you did, but keep doing it. So, um, we talked about it, but those are the words that he said. And so I told him about what I did, and he says, that's great. Keep doing what you're doing. Um, but, it very well could have been a very different story.
Okay, so then what happened? You started your exercise journey, and you live in Carson City right now, obviously.
I
Okay,
do.
this is
Yeah.
before you moved here. So what's the next part of your story?
So obviously, COVID happens. And, so that's a couple years later, 2020 going into 2021. And that changed a lot of things. And, between that time and time COVID happened, I went from being on my feet all day at work to being at a desk job. And, just not getting the exercise that I need. And then COVID happens, we're working remotely. Um, and we all know what happened. Like, we couldn't go anywhere. You couldn't go to the gym. Um, and so routines, and it wasn't just, okay, so, the pandemic's over. Gyms stayed that way for a while. There was limitations in the Washington, D.C. area where I'm from, where I moved here from. So a lot happened with COVID. And then after COVID, with, I had a kidney or a cancer scare. I woke up in some severe pain on Easter Sunday. Thought my appendix were bursting. I was taken to the hospital. Spent the entire day there. They ran all kinds of tests, CAT scans, MRIs. I had to go back for retests. And they sat down with me and said, "We're 99% sure that you have the early stages of kidney cancer." And that was a real blow. And, it really messed with my mind. And all the while, I knew I'm also getting ready for a big move, right, out to Carson City. And this had been in the plan for 7 years. I went into the hospital on August 3rd of 2022, and there was complications, and they ended up needing to take my entire kidney. The good news about this is that they biopsied everything afterwards, and it wasn't cancer. So, you could look at it a couple of different ways, right? I was very bitter. I was very upset for a little bit. But I'm okay. I'm here. It's not cancer. I'm less a kidney. But there's people out there with one kidney. There's people out there that donate kidneys. So, you can live a normal and healthy life, but I think it's important, especially if you have one kidney or one organ of two, to take care of yourself. And so that's why I'm here.
So you moved, and then you joined the gym here in Carson City,
I did.
where you're
Yeah.
sitting now. And how long ago was that?
That was June 1st. So just 4 months.
Okay, 4 months ago. And I'm a gym owner. I love gyms. I love everybody's gym, even
That's
the ones
awesome.
that aren't mine. I love them
Yeah.
because they're all different. They all have personalities, and they're positive places. Um, and I like to work out at home too. Um, I love to go to the gym. I love to mess around and do my little workouts at home too because it's convenient. But the gym is a place, it's a great place to meet people. You just moved here. So now you moved to Carson City, a small town in northern Nevada near Reno, and you're going to find a gym. You found a gym. And so then what happened is you started your exercise program here in your new little town.
Yeah. So I find a gym. I find Fitness for 10, and I come try it out. There was an opportunity to try it out for a week. So I'm like, okay, I'll do that. There were some other gyms in the area, way overpriced in my opinion. And like, okay, yeah, Fitness for $10, like for a membership, like that's insane. Like, okay. All right. So here I am. I come in, I do my free membership. And the staff was just all amazing from day one. Um, so that was one thing, right? There are gyms. I've been to gyms, in my early 20s where it's not like that, right? But everyone was just very welcoming here. So that was a plus right there. So, I get through my week, and then they're like, okay, your week's up, what are you gonna do? I'm like, all right, I'm gonna become a member. So I sign up to become a member, and so with that, you get a free session with a personal trainer. And so I'm like, okay, like I had no intention of like, all right, I'll do the free session.
Yeah, those are smart. It's smart just to get to know the gym and get to
Yeah.
know people. And almost every health club will give a complimentary one or two or maybe three sometimes, depending on the gym, um, so that you can get familiar with the equipment. And a lot of times they'll give you a workout program or whatever you can do on
Mm.
your own. And if you want to buy personal training, of course you can do that too. So go ahead.
Yeah, so I did the free personal trainer session, and that's when I met Coach DJ. Um, and we sat down and we talked. He talked. He asked me some really, really, really good questions that I was not prepared. I was not prepared to answer these questions. Like, why are you here? Tell me about your story and all these things. And I'm just like, I'm actually gonna have to say this out loud.
Yeah.
So it really made me think, and I saw a lot of value in that. And what Coach DJ did was he talked about uh, a personal, life-threatening medical situation with his family, with his son, and there was a real connection there. Um, and so, long story short, with that, I ended up signing up to have a personal trainer to help me get fit and take care of myself so that I'm feeling good again and taking care of my body, which is not just physically, it's also mentally. I really believe that, you know, if you stick to it, you're taking care of your well-being. Um, and that's when, shortly after that, I met Austin. Austin's my personal, he spends every Tuesday and Thursday with me at 6 p.m. And the guy is just amazing. He's full of knowledge. He talks about what I should eat, what I shouldn't eat, how to meal prep, and shows me how to use all the machines in the gym, which honestly, I had no idea. Um, and just, he keeps me in line with, working out and not overdoing it. But also just helping me kind of, set a clear path of how to, have a good schedule. So, and that's what I've been following. So I am, you go from June to nearly the end of September. And, in the last month, I have just felt like a huge difference in myself. Like my energy, honestly, it's like through the roof. I don't know if it's the veggies or the protein, but it's noticeable, and I feel good. I feel great. Um, I didn't share this before, but I was having trouble sleeping when I first joined the gym. A lot of that, there were some different reasons for that. Um, I think some of it was kidney related because it had been going on for a while. My body was just getting used to things being different. I would wake up a lot in the middle of the night, 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. I have to go to the bathroom. So Austin says to me, Rob, he's like, how often are you drinking water? When are you drinking water? When are you stopping to drink water? And like, it seems simple, right? But that's not anything I ever thought about. Um, and I would, go to bed at like around 11 o'clock at night and I'd drink water all the way up through it, right? So he's like, why don't you try cutting it off at 9 o'clock? Right. And so I did. And I would say within a few weeks, I started sleeping consistently through without waking up in the middle of the night. So that's pretty cool, and that's actually a game changer for me. I mean, it was not enjoyable waking up at 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning and not really getting a full night's sleep. So there's a lot of benefit to having a personal trainer share with you tips and tricks and all of those things. But you got to be honest with them and tell them what's going on too. So
Yeah, that's very important because a coach or a trainer, something like this, look, I'm still figuring myself out. As I age, things are different. My diet has to change and I do things differently now. Everything's different, but I've stayed on top of it. Something that's beneficial about a trainer is now you kind of have a partner who's going to help you figure things out. Because if you guys watch the channel, you know that, well, you're watching it now, so you know that I say everyone's different.
yes,
And
yeah,
that trainer sometimes will help you or give you ideas because he doesn't know either, the details. He said, try this, try that, take this out of your diet, put this in your diet and until you get it right. And then as you age, you got to keep modifying it. But that is a benefit of a personal trainer. I started off as a personal trainer before I got, well, that was how I got into the business. And, uh, and it's interesting because trainers, you bond with them. You're right. Um,
You do.
yeah, there's definitely a relationship there. And it's something that, they're working with you, you're working together to really, um, figure things out. And all the questions that they asked, that's a good thing too. At the beginning, that DJ was asking all those questions because you got to know what your objective is, and then what is your long-term goal. And sometimes people don't know that until you start asking these questions. And maybe you say, okay, I want to do this, this, and this, but maybe that doesn't line up with what your goal is.
Mm.
So those things that you want to do have to be modified to really reach your goal. That's another thing a trainer really can help with. So now you look fit. You're in the gym. You're
Feel
working
good.
out. You're feeling good. That's what's really important. So um, appreciate Rob you sharing your story, and hopefully this will help um, others who hear it. And it's never too late. And exercise is huge. That's the first thing you want to start with.
Mm.
Start exercising. It will improve your health in multiple areas, not just one, but multiple areas. It's amazing.
It
And
really
you
is.
don't have to kill yourself. You just have to have the discipline to put the time in 2, 3 times a week, just like you've done, Rob. So thanks for telling us your story.
Thanks for having me, Steve.
All right, I'll see you in the gym.
See you in the gym.